This lesson is on tally charts. Tally charts use tally marks to show information that's been counted. It's kind of like a picture and a bar graph in the way that it shows information, but it's demonstrated in a different way. Now, the way we use tally marks when we count something is to draw lines. Like, say, for instance, we had 10 apples. Well, to count those apples using tally marks, we would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth tally is always sideways, and that's where you stop that group and you start another group. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to keep going because remember we have 10 apples. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these tally marks show that there were 10 apples. Well, let's say we had 14 apples. Be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth one always goes sideways. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Remember we had 14. 11, 12, 13, 14. We're going to stop right there. And they're easy to count too because you can count by fives when you know the groups are worth 5. It would be 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, and we know that there were 14. Let's look at a tally chart. This tally chart shows favorite snacks. We have cookies and we have popcorn. As you can see here, where the cookies are, they use tally marks to count how many kids liked cookies. Let's recount them together. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 kids like cookies. And as you can see there, that fifth tally always goes sideways. Now for popcorn, there were only 1, 2, 3. 3 kids liked popcorn. Let's look at another tally chart. This tally chart shows people with pets. Some have cats and some have dogs. Let's count up the cats first. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people that liked cats. So we'll put the number 7 over here in the total side. And dogs had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now let's look at some questions about our tally chart. The first question asks, how many people have pets? Well, we need to add up all the people that had pets, so we would add 7 plus 10 over here, and we know that that equals 17. Well, how many have cats? Let's just go back and count our tallies, or we could look at our number that was in the total box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many had dogs? Well, just look over in your total box because we already counted it up. There were 10. Let's look at another chart. This is a hamburgers or hot dogs. Which kids liked which the most? Let's count up our hamburgers first. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's make our tallies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and write our number in the total. And hot dogs, there were 1, 2, 3, 4. So make your tallies 1, 2, 3, 4, and write the number 4. Now the first question at the bottom asks, how many more chose hamburgers than hot dogs? How many more means to subtract, so we would subtract 7 minus 4, and our answer would be 3. The second question asks, how many like hot dogs and hamburgers? Well, if we want to know how many in all liked both of them, we have to add those two numbers. So I'm going to change our minus sign to a plus sign. 7 plus 4 is 11. 11 people like hot dogs and hamburgers. Let's look at one last one. This one is a favorite shapes tally chart. And we have some triangles, we have some squares, and we have some circles. The first thing we need to do is fill our chart out. So let's count up the squares first. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So make our tallies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 squares. Now let's move on to triangles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make our tallies. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll write the number 4. Now let's count up our circles. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 circles. Now let's answer some questions. The first question asks, how many shapes in all? Well, we could do 3 things. We could either count up all the shapes, we could count up all the tallies, or we could actually add our 3 numbers up. And I'm going to go ahead and add our 3 numbers up. There was 7 squares plus 4 triangles plus 6 circles. I'm going to add 6 plus 4 first because I know that equals 10, and then add 7. I know that would be 17. How many squares and circles? Well, there were 7 squares and there were 6 circles. I know that 7 plus 6 is 13, so our answer would be 13. And how many more squares than circles? Well, there were 7 squares and there were only 6 circles, and I know how many more means to subtract. 7 minus 6 equals 1. There is 1 more square than circle. That concludes our lesson today on tally charts.